Why Rolex watches are so expensive? There is a rumor that in order for a Rolex to actually leave the factory or to be a Rolex design, it has to be recognizable from 20 feet away. Yes, you heard it right, exactly from 20 feet away. Rolex is one of the few brands, if not the only brand, that has a very specific aesthetic. They are sporty, they are active, and they are tool watches. That's kind of their main DNA. In the 50s, they came out with the Submariner, the Explorer, the Milgauss, the GMT, and they were all the watches that were designed and made to be used as tools. And so, that is their bread and butter, and it is still today. It's kind of evolved into a luxury brand later in life, which is what they are known for. So, that's kind of interesting thing about them is they initially were the tool watches, which have now become a luxury watch. Rolex is kind of one of those brands that sits on the lower end of the spectrum as far as the luxury watches are concerned. The Submariners, which would cost $8,000. The entry-level watch at Rolex is $5,000 with the Oyster Perpetual. Their three qualities are self-winding, waterproof and precision, and they really focus on these qualities. It takes 1 year to make a Rolex. They go through the extensive testing, the accuracy, the chronometer, and the timing. It's all about telling the right time and keeping the right time. They also have extensive service work after. So if you ever have a problem with your Rolex, you can take it to them and they'll fix it out. The clasp is open and closed 1,000 times before it leaves. So you know that when you get it, it's not gonna break. The whole point of buying a Rolex is that you buy one now and it will last for 20 years if you take care of it. But it will last you for 100 if you really take good care of it. That's ultimately why they are so expensive. Because you're buying something that will last you a lifetime, and that's something you can pass down to the other generations as well. In the collector's world, there's a vintage Rolex market, and there's a whole underground of different nuances. And there's a GMT with a matte dial, a GMT with a gilt dial, and there are all these tiny little details that change and they make a watch more or less valuable. There is the Paul Newman Daytona, which is sold for $17.8 million last fall, and that's the most expensive Rolex that has been ever sold at the auction. The Paul Newman Daytona is a really good example. When they came out with the Daytona back in the 90s, they used to put these exotic dials on them and they couldn't sell them. And now, they are the most collectible watches on the vintage market. No one knows how many Rolexes are produced per year, or no one knows how many Rolexes are produced per model. But there are specific ones like the Rainbow Daytona that came out this year. It is rumored to have the X amount made, but in very small quantities. You don't ever know exactly what the number is, but you do know that they aren't that many and they are hard to get. One of the biggest thing about Rolex watch is that anyone can wear any of them. They are very much unisex, and I think that's really refreshing, cause a lot of times brand put a lot of diamonds on watches and kind of brand it as a woman's watch, whereas Rolex does the same thing, but it's kind of unisex. I wear a lot of men's Rolex, but the ladies' Rolex Datejust is actually in two-tone. It's actually the most sold Rolex model of all the time, which is really a fun fact. I hope you enjoyed watching our video. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.